In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how we bring in a track file to Google Earth. The track was created with a GPS unit, saved as a KML, and emailed to me, so I have it on my hard drive. Because Google Earth is installed on my computer already, it knows the computer knows KMLs belong to Google Earth, and all I really have to do is double-click the KML, and it will launch Google Earth. So things are very easy in terms of getting KML into Google Earth. When the track lights up, it's automatically brought over into the right-hand side table of contents in the upper part. When I touch the track, I get a lot of information. This is where I can find out the maximum speed that I was walking when I acquired it, and the length of this track, which is very interesting because a person might well say that track said that the maximum speed was 8 miles an hour, and I'm pretty sure I can't walk 8 miles an hour. So maybe I have a couple places where my track has errors, and it only looked to the GPS like I was going 8 miles an hour. I wasn't really going that fast. On my right-hand side, in the lower box, I have some features I can turn on, and mine has 3D buildings turned on, and I encourage you to do that. A few years ago, Purdue had a contest sponsored by Purdue's Envision Center, which encouraged students to build 3D models of our campus buildings and store them in a Google library that's available to anybody on the web. Most campuses now look like this, but Purdue was one of the first 10 to do it. These are impressive because they have not only modeled the building, they've modeled the outside. They've made a texture and applied it to the polygon so that the buildings look realistic. A tremendous amount of work, a wonderful crowdsourcing project. And what we're going to do is basically learn how to run these controls, because you have to tilt your plane of viewing in order to see. Let me turn there. It's getting a little cluttered looking. For our experiment, we're going to build a building of our own. Let me tilt back to map view for a second. And one of the interesting points of the imagery that Google has acquired is that it changes with time. So here we have this large service building, which is no longer on the campus. It's been destroyed. And it's in the process, you can see it being demolished. In fact, it's possible to see images on Google that show that in various stages. Google has the ability to do things over time, and you might consider looking at that. So basically, you can bring up a slider bar and see. Okay, I've done that. So these are the images Google owns, and as we move, we're going back in time. These Tippecanoe County photos go back to 1993. Their obvious hope is that people will be able to do change detection just right in Google Earth. Now the 3D model didn't go anywhere. If I turn that off, you can see various states of that building underneath. So what we're going to do here, in fact, in this last version, the building's destroyed. We're going to build a building right here. So to do that, well, I've brought my map back to map view. In other words, I'm flat right now, and I'm still very close to the campus. I've turned off the GPS points that I collected because they're cluttering the screen. So I'm building the new building that we're building down here. I'm going to do it by adding a polygon. The polygon tool will need to remain open while I build my building. The style and color, I'm going to have, I think, white lines, but I'm going to have a brick colored building. So I'm okaying brick here. For a view, I'm going to take the default. We could make this a time-based. For altitude, that's basically where's the top of your building at. So relative to the ground, the top will be at 17 meters. So I have a 17-meter tall building. I'm going to click this box because I want to extend the size to the ground. In other words, I want it to be a filled polygon. Now I have to leave this window open while I work. I can get it out of the way, but I can't close it. So my new building, I'm going to click on the corners of my building. You can see the white line coming in. A little bit not rectangular. There we go. And that should be 17 meters tall. I'm going to close my box and hit OK. So I'm done drawing. So I left the little gray box open until I had this drawn, and then I closed it. Now we're going to tilt the map and see if we have a 3D building. And I'm going to zoom in with my mouse cursor. And it looks flat. That's because earlier I turned off 3D buildings. So I'm going to come back over here to the lower right side and turn on 3D buildings. I see the old 3D building. And I right-clicked on it and opened up Properties. I'm going to go back to Altitude. And for some reason, altitude went back to 0. So now we're going to change it to 17 again. And hit OK. Oh, there it is. There's my 3-story building. So I could, let's say I want to model where we're going to build a new laboratory. Well, there it is. Very easy to do. And of course, I could do a screen grab of this and put it in a report. I can also do a fly around. Google allows you to build a trail and then fly the camera view along that trail. It's an interesting process, and it's available in the tutorials if you like it. Well, this concludes this short movie.